Hello everyone, thank you for watching. I just wanted to make a quick video about these Blue Jeans cables that I've just purchased. At the time of recording, it's a Thursday here in the UK. I ordered these on the Sunday evening just gone. So a very quick delivery by Blue Jeans. They were actually due to arrive on the Wednesday, but there was a delay in the UK at my local delivery point. So no fault of Blue Jeans. It came via FedEx. A very efficient service. You do pay a bit of a premium for it here in the UK. I think it cost me £20 to have that delivered, but probably worth it for the time it took to get here. Quicker certainly than many items I've ordered in the UK recently. And it is leading up to Christmas time as well, so generally very impressed by the delivery service of the cables. So yeah, if you are based in the UK, I would have no worries about ordering from the US. If you can stomach the premium that you pay for the delivery, then yeah, I shouldn't worry about that at all. So the cables, I ordered two lengths here of the 12 white speaker cable. You can see here, manufactured in the USA for Blue Jeans cable by Belden. You can read on their website all about what cable they actually use. I believe it's a Belden cable. It's exactly the same as the Belden version, but just a white sleeve as opposed to a grey sleeve on the Belden version. The price difference is fairly negligible, and white just works better for me. So that's why I went for the white version. I also chose to go with the terminated ends. You can choose to go for unterminated lengths, which will set you back much less. The terminated endings, I think Blue Jeans do charge a bit of a premium, I guess, because it's much more labour intensive than just cutting the length of cable, and also you do pay for the banana plugs, which do feel pretty high quality. I opted to go for these locking banana plugs that come as an option on Blue Jeans. I've not seen them anywhere else, but I'm sure you can find them. I've not tried these with my speakers as of yet. However, I'll try and give a demonstration. You'll have to forgive me operating the camera with my right hand, and I'm right-handed, so you can also just see inside here. Apologies. I believe Blue Jeans call it the ultrasonic welding. Looks pretty good and stable. So the locking mechanism is just this here. You twist it around, and when it hits those pins, it starts pushing them up, and you can possibly just make out the end expanding there. So that should hopefully, I think the idea is that sits snugly and comfortably within the speaker and can't be removed or pulled out unless you loosen it off. I was a bit surprised when the package arrived. It was quite jangly, but that's because these bits are loose until you tighten them up. So yeah, that's the terminated ends on them. I've had both sides terminated for the speaker end and the amplifier end. The reason I bought the cables, so I'm very much on the fence when it comes to speaker cables. I'm by absolutely no means an expert or an audiophile at all. It's just a bit of a hobby for me. Maybe they'll make a difference. They may not make any difference at all. But I felt like I'd spent a bit of cash on my system, so I wanted to give it the best chance of sounding as good as it possibly can. Currently, I'm just using some very cheap cables from Amazon. I think they cost about £16. They are pure copper, but they are, I think, 14 AWG as opposed to 12, which the Blue Jeans are 12. I think that means it's slightly thicker. Again, whether that will make any difference or not, the jury's out for me. I have no idea. I can test them side by side. It may not make a difference. However, I just wanted to go for something a bit higher quality than what I'm currently using, just to some no-name generic brand with really quite cheap feeling banana plugs. The cable feels okay, but the banana plugs felt quite loose. So yeah, that's the speaker cables. It feels quite nice. It is quite a stiff cable. You can certainly see that where the red and black cables, positive and negative cables, come out. That is quite stiff, not particularly flexible. I will be trying to pass this through some conduit that sits on my wall behind my system. You can maybe just make it out there behind that speaker stand, and I think it should be okay to go round a right-angled corner if you're considering doing something the same. I think it's flexible enough to do that without damaging the cable. So that's the speaker cable. The other cable I purchased, I wasn't going to purchase one of these, but I think because I'd committed to the £20 postage, I decided to add more to my order. So I went for one of the BlueJeans LC1 RCA interconnects, and that will be used to connect my phono preamp. I'm sure the cable I'm using on that, again, is fine, but it was something like £5 off Amazon. It feels pretty flimsy, and the connectors certainly feel very cheap. Compared to this, these feel extremely sturdy. These RCA interconnects, I'm not entirely sure of the brand. I can't recall. It's Canare. I'll try and zoom in on it, but you may not be able to make it out. Canar. Anyway, that's a 0.5 meters of the RCA cable, and I chose to go with the I think they call it Techflex, just for the sake of tidiness. I mean, on a cable that short, probably in hindsight, I wouldn't have gone with it, but there we go. The only thing to note probably with these is the interconnects are very long. If you've got the space, worth considering. Again, I don't know if that will make an audible difference. It may well not do, but this cable will, I imagine, last a lifetime, whereas the one I'm currently using, after, if you do a few house moves or upgrade a system, plugging and unplugging, they may break. The other cables, the interconnects, they have split ends, whereas these are solid. And the metal on the end of the other ones is extremely thin, so I can see them snapping at some point, whereas these are very solid. And the cable as well feels extremely good quality. I understand there's lots of shielding in there, whereas again the other cable I have is totally unshielded. Not that I suffer with any issues in that respect, but there we go. Trying to justify my purchase to anyone watching and to myself potentially, but there we go. That's just a little overview of the cables. I may potentially do another video just of them plugged in, but do post a comment if you're interested in seeing that, or I may add a comment to just say, have they made an audible difference? They probably won't. But will I regret my purchase? No, because I wanted to have cables that would meet the price point of the rest of my system. That's the cables, the RCA. So far, great experience with BlueJeans on the delivery, and the proof of the pudding will be in the eating, or the listening in this case. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, goodbye.